how does Skypiom approach compliance tracking differently from traditional learner management systems?
So I think one has to be fair when one compares our solution to traditional LMS. And there are, well, the exact numbers are unknown, but there are roughly about 1,000 systems in the market. And by and large, traditional, let's just call them traditional learning management systems for now, they are course centric, meaning they only track who started a course and effectively who's completed a course. It's the same quiz per course that the user takes with enough attempts. You can figure out the logic. And again, if content dissemination is your primary objective, there's nothing wrong with those systems. But rather than only tracking who's completing the course, our solution is ultimately obligation-centric. So we don't ask who has completed the course, has Thomas done X, Y, and Z? We ask, is that role compliant with its obligations? And then what is the impact? So that's where our differentiating factor lies. It's not just about content delivery. That's quite straightforward. But it's the entire value chain around that. Is Thomas compliant with his obligation, what he's been brought into the organization to do? So where we're different is we link roles, we then link risk categories, we link regulatory requirements, we bring together competency frameworks, of course, learning interventions, assessment outcomes, and then again, expected return. And this complete architecture ultimately allows organizations to move beyond completion tracking and giving them absolute oversight, proper governance, and ultimately sheer control.
Many in my team know that I want us to constantly think of ways of being proactive. And, having these kind of systems and the way I see this being designed is in a way that makes you a little bit more proactive than reactive.
Yes.
By understanding what is the requirement for the position and knowing does the person match up with the courses that is required for the position that they're in. And obviously seeing the gaps in real time and be able to enhance the training, provide the training, should I say, for the individual so that you remove the risk of not knowing something that's quite critical to what your job requires.
I think what also has to, be fair. A lot of organizations, it's not that they don't want to manage, track, take control. That's not the case. It's the solutions that they've got in place don't give them the data and the information that they need to make those objective and informed decisions. So it's a bit of, as you said, thumb sucking in part, clutching at straws, throwing something at the wall and hoping that it sticks. Again, I'm using very broad brushstrokes here, but that's ultimately what it means if you don't have the data to make informed decisions. And being data centric, we provide all that information to you so you can make the best decisions based on objective information on hand.